and thank you for joining me back for my awakening to neurodivergence. So in this section, I'm going to be talking about neurodivergence in everyday life. So in everyday life, I will be talking about how I structure my routines. I'll be talking about sensory experiences, my experience with the senses, and also challenges other people can face and tips for that. And in the third part, I will be talking more about social interaction. So section 1, routines. I find myself, especially in the mornings, it's really, really beneficial to have a routine in place. I really enjoy structure. I find that really, really beneficial for helping to keep my mind focused. I find that if I don't have a structure, then I could just spend the day, I don't know, basically getting lost in time. So firstly, when I wake up in the morning, usually around 8:30, 8, I will get up and I will start with my meditation. I'll usually do my meditation for, say, roughly around an hour. And this time is really, really great for me to get up, to not scroll on the phone, to not start interacting yet with the day ahead, to really keep my thoughts kind of inward and not projecting out. So it really helps me to ground myself and also start the day on a really, really positive note. The next thing I will do is I will either go and grab some breakfast, or I'll start with some exercise. I love Ashtanga yoga, so I'm really getting into that and building up the strength. And also it's quite a rigid practice. So especially during times of like transition or being a little bit unsure of where you're going, it will also help me to really focus more. So Ashtanga yoga for me at the moment is my one that keeps me motivated, keeps me going. Other forms of yoga I will try and I will do a bit later on, but at the moment Ashtanga is really helping me. And yeah, so that's my morning. I really like to have a bit of meditation and yoga to set my day. I tend to leave the afternoons kind of open, because once you're on that morning routine, it kind of helps to pave the way for the rest of the day. So I'll either go to the gym, the spa, I'll go swimming, take a walk, or I'll do work, depending on which day it is of the week. So yeah, that's my routine. I think that a lot of the challenges, so what are the challenges for other people, for other neurodivergent people with routines? I think that one common theme is difficulty starting the day without support or structure. I think a lot of us, we really benefit from support and structure at the beginning of the day. Some people find that having too rigid a structure makes them a little bit nervous or anxious. So it doesn't have to be completely rigid. It can be flexible with a routine. Another common challenge is trouble transitioning between tasks. So you can become really hyper-focused on one task, and when it's time to go to a different task, you can either struggle to kind of get into the zone or the space of the new task. The third one is time blindness or losing track of time. So with a routine, this kind of cuts out that problem, the challenge of time blindness or losing track of time. Without that routine, you can spend a lot of time either scrolling through your phone endlessly or getting lost in thoughts or whatever project is going on. And then suddenly, before you know it, you've lost track of time, you've run out of time. And maybe there's a few other things that you've completely forgotten to do with your day. Number 4, starting many projects but struggling to complete them. So I don't know if you've noticed, but since I've come back from Bali, with me, I've started quite a few projects. I didn't get around to finishing them. And the reason for this was because I come in with full power or full confidence. And I either see that it's not being received well, or projects with other people, where it's just you haven't got the same reciprocation. So unfortunately that can lead to projects falling away or not completing them. Another thing for me, I would say, is books. I start a lot of reading and then I will just leave half of the book. And literally I think half of my bookcase is full of half finished books. And it's not like I don't want to read them. Like I really sometimes I'll just be sitting on that sofa and I'll be looking at the bookcase and like, oh, I really want to read all of that book. But procrastination or something, I just don't get round to it. It's not like it wasn't interesting. Yeah. So the next one is feeling overwhelmed without external structure. And then finally, becoming hyper-focused on the wrong things, e.g. scrolling. So what are some helpful tips for routines? So I would definitely suggest building a simple, flexible morning routine. One that aligns with you. For example, if you don't want to get up too early, that's fine. You don't have to, adhere to a certain time. But as long as you kind of have that routine in place, flexible, then it can definitely serve and help you well. Only use structure when it supports you, and skip tools like timers if they create stress. So with me, I would definitely say that using a timer, like on meditation or yoga, definitely gives me a bit of tension or anxiety. I'd say yoga is fine because I'm used to that, but meditation, I don't like putting a timer on that because you're kind of like sitting there and you've got this timer as you're meditating, and that's really distracting because you're like, oh, I wonder how much time I've been meditating now. And that completely defeats the object of meditation. Keep afternoons or certain parts of the day open for flexibility. When you're having like a little spike in creativity or maybe hyperness, keep that open and then you can, do what you please or what your body is asking you in that moment. Break tasks into small, clear steps. It's really beneficial to stop that overwhelm and procrastination and create an environment that supports focus. So a tidy space and a calming atmosphere. I would find with creating an environment that supports focus, for me, is one of the most really important things. I love creating a safe space, especially at home, one that supports me during the day. So, for example, in the evenings, I will always make sure that there's no bright lights on, that the lights are down pretty low. I'll put on a few candles and I'll just make it into a safe space. During the day, I like to have not like bright lights, but I like to have light that keeps me awake, keeps my brain running. Otherwise, I can just kind of flunk. So I have to have all the blinds open, all the windows open to get as much light in as possible, especially for when you're working. And also a tidy space. Yeah, I think it's especially a problem in women that if we don't have a tidy or clean space, it can really raise your stress levels. And I've definitely found that with me, that if I don't have a clean house, then I can't focus on anything else. I have to clean the house or I have to make sure things are in order before I continue with the next task. And expect that some projects may naturally go unfinished, and that is normal. And there's no reason to beat yourself up for it. Some things can have a momentum, and some other things, they can lose momentum. And that's just all part of it. So thank you for watching this section. Our next section will be sensory experiences.